All right, all right, all right. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know Ruben would try to build in a little sympathy for me with that flight, but thank you. I appreciate it. First of all, I appreciated President Martinez-Sáenz using the wedding analogy and metaphor, because I think that is true, and it is about us. I'm thinking more of a family reunion, because you've heard of my connection to St. Francis, but even today, I find out that a relative of my colleague Chris Cimino is graduating today, and you best believe I'll talk to him about the weather we had today. Mr. Solomon is related to someone that I've worked with closely for years, and then Thomas Flash Flood is my brother from another mother. You see the resemblance, don't you? Now, real talk with the graduates. If you didn't, I want you to be honest, despite Ruben's great introduction, if you didn't have the program, how many of you had to Google and find out who I was? Real talk. Yeah, get them up, get them up. Get them up, I know. How many of you are Googling me right now trying to figure out? Hey, I am not mad at you. I am not mad at you. My industry, the news media, has taken a few hits in recent years, a few hashtags going around, and what we call digital disruption. Millions of dollars have been spent to try to figure out how you get your information and where you will spend your advertising dollars. And we know it's less and less on newscasts. But I think I have a few of the family members. Family members, anybody? Any love for Channel 4? Or any bit? A little bit? Okay. Thank you for humoring me. That was a shameless plug for some praise. I'm humbled and I'm grateful. President Miguel Martinez-Sáenz, who I've had a chance now to spend some time with over a couple of occasions, to Chairman John Tully, who I've seen at the charter dinners, and the Board of Trustees, and the professors and administrators here at this great school. I am humbled, and I thank you. So they told me to keep my speech to about 90 minutes, and I'm okay with that, because usually I go 2 hours, but I think today is your day, so 90 minutes is fine. You know, I meant to say good afternoon to you, but I wasn't sure whether it was morning or afternoon, because Ruben is right. It was a 12-hour flight, and everyone thinks that we travel, Mr. President, in glamour. We don't. I was in seat 25G, and the monitor, when the person in front of me leaned back, was like this. So I watched a movie, but I couldn't tell you what it was about. But it was a long flight. Got in at 6 this morning, and I don't sleep well on flights anyway. And I worked in Jerusalem, which was 7 hours ahead, but I had to meet the New York City deadlines for the newscast. So I'm just telling you, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what my name is. I don't know what language I'm speaking. But that's okay, because we're about diversity here at St. Francis, so I'm sure you'll understand me. That's right. But I do know this. This is the commencement, this is the graduation for the class of 2018 at St. Francis College, and I know that I had to be here because I'm proud of you, we're proud of you, we're proud of you. Give yourselves a hand. It is the borough of Kings, Kings County, although I'm smart enough to say kings and queens now. I got you. I knew I had to be here, and it turns out, graduates, that I needed to be here after the week I had. I needed to see some joy on faces. I needed to see aspiration. I needed to see hope. Because I just returned from an assignment in the Middle East where at times I saw emptiness in the eyes of children. Children who know nothing but division and disconnect and bloodshed. But I also saw young people on the ground working to make it better, sometimes at their own risk. If the diplomats can't figure it out, if the politicians can't figure it out, then the young people will at least try to make it better by educating, by supporting, by feeding, by loving. And doing so as Dr. Martinez Science says, in an authentic way, not for self-gain. I saw that too. I was able to bring that back with me too. So while I was legit sad at times at what I saw on what was my third trip to the Holy Land, I was comforted by the spirit of the young people I met who want to make it better. And so I had to make it to Coney Island today, which, by the way, it was harder for me to get here than it was to get to Israel. I'm on the west side, man, Battery Tunnel, but I would have gotten here. I would have walked. I had to be here because I know you graduates have that spirit. You have that commitment. You have worked to make things better on these Brooklyn streets and in your own neighborhoods. Your valedictorian exemplifies it. We'll hear from Valerie. Volunteer work with the homeless, children in poverty. Gwendolyn Etienne has it, volunteering at soup kitchens and at church while working on that pre-med curriculum. Alexis, Anais, I know you have it because through the years, as you've heard, I've participated in the Charter Awards and seen the excellence firsthand. I know because, as Ruben said a few weeks ago, I visited the campus. That was important to me. I said, Flash. Anybody call you Flash, Thomas? Where's Thomas? They call you Flash, right? Flash. I said, Flash, I got to go there before I speak. I want to feel it. I know I've been a part of it, but I got to go. And so we sat in on a science class, first-year students with Dr. Kathy Nolan, and I tried to look like I had a clue about the research project they were doing. They were working on it, some impressive presentations. And then Dr. Nolan turned to me and said, would you like to ask a question? So I tried to punt and come up with something. Yes. At the moment of the degree, an inverted texture solidified. What happened? I didn't know what I was talking about. You remember that, Thomas? Dr. Nolan asked me to leave the classroom immediately. I know because I visited with the upperclassmen and women in communications and journalism. My people, my peeps. And Professor Gerwitz was a gracious and beaming host. Yeah. Some among you interned with us at NBC4. Anthony Iannizzi. Anthony, where are you? There you go. There you go. You guys who know Anthony knows he has a swagger wherever he goes, and that includes the halls of 30 Rock. Let me tell you, brother. Anthony sent me his tape to look at. He did a piece about an NFL draft story that he put together. Wasn't bad, bro. I'm not going to say it's too good because I got to work another 10 years, bro. I got to retire off this gig, so I don't need you that good, but we will work together. Danielle is intern with us, but she's a junior, so I'm not going to talk to her much about her today. Sorry, Danielle. It's Seniors Day. But the point is, another example of how I've witnessed the excellence firsthand of St. Francis. And I'm proud of them especially, because I hope Anthony and the others go in to pursue, as I told the communications and journalism students in Professor Gerwitz's class, to pursue an interest in storytelling, in fact-checking, in providing context. It is needed now more than ever. I made that passing reference earlier to the hits that my industry has taken, but I do take it seriously. Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black famously wrote, "In the First Amendment, the Founding Fathers gave the free press the protection it must have to fulfill its essential role in our democracy. The press was to serve the governed, not the governors." Think about that. I know, graduates, that you have the spirit, the gentleness and compassion of Francis of Assisi, but the grit of Brooklyn Strong, because you have professors and advisors who care. You can tell when you talk to them, and I've talked to them. You can tell when you meet alumni, and I've met with them. They speak warmly about their education here. Now look, I understand that the road, or perhaps the subway ride to St. Francis, took many twists and turns for you. It wasn't always easy for you and your families. Some of you were first generation, first to go to college, first to make it out. And real talk, some real challenges lie ahead. Financial security, financial burdens can be heavy. Dr. Martinez Science and the board embarking on their new partnership to meet some real challenges in making St. Francis education still available to as many people who want it, because it is a fine one and many need it. But I do want you to take some time to embrace this moment. Breathe, be in it. The stress can be overwhelming, but the stress will be there. Enjoy. You've done something here. Be proud. Be energized. Be driven. Be home by midnight tonight, though. This is always a time for a cliche question. What would you tell your 20-year-old self? Not you, but guys like me, who are going to be 51 in a few weeks. What would you tell your 20-year-old self? Dave, what would you tell your 20-year-old self? Take better care of your hair? Because I feel like I did something wrong. I don't feel like it was inherited. I feel like I did the wrong shampoo or something. I don't know. When I was in college, I wasn't certain what I was going to do. I was wishy-washy on going to law school. I just knew that getting a degree was important because everyone said so. And they're right. I have a quick story for you because I have 80 minutes left. I applied for a fellowship at a great TV station at the time in Boston, candidates from around the country. I made it to the final 3 and got rejected. I said, okay, let me sharpen this focus a little bit then. And long story short, I landed another chance at a station where I grew up, training program that they said will pay you next to nothing. It has no health benefits, and we probably won't hire you after the year is up. But they said the experience will be worth an Ivy League degree. Ruben, they actually named Columbia University. But again, I don't want to talk about other universities on this stage, but that's the university they used. They said it would be worth that experience. I said, okay, so I took the risk, I took the job. And within 3 months, they offered me a full-time gig. And within 4 years, I was heading to New York, the biggest TV market. So I only bring that up to say, look, when one door closes, another opens. Rejection from that first fellowship actually turned out to be better for me. The stone that the builder rejected has become the cornerstone. And you, my friends, are the stones, the class of 2018. Many of you struggled to get here. Many struggled to stay here, but all of you are here. Some of you are the diamonds in the rough, but all of you are the precious gems to us and to them. Because graduates, as I've said, I've seen an empty stare in young people's eyes. I've seen a look in young people when they feel there's no way out. And you don't have to go as far as the Middle East to see that look. We know South Central, Appalachia, Chicago, Newark, East New York. It is a look of disillusionment. The people on this stage and the people in this audience and these seats worked hard to keep you from getting a look and a feeling of disillusionment. If you fall, we can help pick you up. If you make a mistake, we can help you learn from it and fix it. If one door closes on you, we can help you find another door. But if you give up, if you become disillusioned, we've all lost. But I know you won't. I know, St. Francis, you got this. You made it this far. You are Brooklyn strong, faithfully inspired. You are the St. Francis College class of 2018. I want to leave you with the Pulitzer Prize-winning philosophy of Kendrick Lamar, who has been talking a lot lately about handling his business, protecting his family. And he's well known, right, for saying, sit down, be humble. But today, I want you to stand up and yell. Congratulations.